A little bit more temperate closer to the water there, 67 degrees on the island, 66 for Palacios, but we do have to watch for some visibility issues this morning. So we had some ground level moisture built up overnight, and with those temperatures dropping into the 50s, dew points lining up in the 50s, we are seeing some low-lying cloud cover, which is fog, and so visibility is reduced down to just a couple hundred feet. If you're headed out from Columbus early this morning, Wharton, you're also seeing zeros. That doesn't mean you can't see anything. It just means visibility is very much reduced. So make sure you're slowing it down if you've got early Saturday morning plans. Make sure you're using your low beam lights and giving yourself extra distance between you and the car in front of you. Parallel visibility for you right now at the 8:20 hour is about a quarter of a mile. That's what you can see out ahead of you. Angleton, you're dealing with the same thing. Even at Hobby, half a mile visibility for you. We do have a dense fog advisory until 9 o'clock this morning. Sun is out already, and that is going to start to dissipate. That low-lying cloud cover is going to start to evaporate and eventually lift, and we will see beautiful clearing conditions. Check out the hour-by-hour forecast. We're going to see plenty of sunshine by this afternoon. High pressure is in control. Whenever we have a high-pressure system set up, we'll see dry, sinking air, and that's why we don't see any cloud cover. Because we have that air that is descending rather than rising, cooling, and condensing, we see plenty of sunshine. So already by the lunch hour, we're sitting in the mid 70s. We'll take the highs for today right around 83, 84 degrees, 3, 4 o'clock. And then temperatures overnight will be a little bit more mild than what they were overnight tonight. And that's because we are going to see a little bit more moisture pumping in from the Gulf. Sunny and warm for today, a chilly start. Tomorrow, a little bit warmer. We'll start off in the upper 50s, low 60s, another 83 on tap, with just a little bit of cloud cover. But you may notice I'm quite nasally today. I am sniffling, I've got congestion, and that's because allergens, man, they are really relentless right now, especially oak count still above 1,200. It's expected to stay very high for the remainder of the weekend. Grasses are low, weeds are moderate, and mold spores are low, but it really is the oak tree pollen count that we are going to be combating as we push through the weekend. And it is unfortunate because it's going to be so beautiful. So if you're struggling like me, do not forget your allergy medication. You also might want to limit your time outdoors. I know I will be, unfortunately. I'll have to live vicariously through you if you're not being impacted by the allergies right now. But something you could do if you are resting up at home and you want to make sure you're giving your sinuses a little bit of relief, as tempting as it is to enjoy that sunshine and let that cooler breeze seep in overnight, close your windows and use your AC instead so you don't also welcome in the unwanted pollen. If you're spending time outdoors, try to do your loads of laundry a little bit more consistently, just so that, again, pollen isn't just floating around your home. Ladies, unfortunately, I know we try to prolong the hair washing days as much as possible. It is a task. Don't I know it? But I am having to wash my hair every day just to, again, try and limit the amount of pollen that I'm breathing, especially as I'm sleeping. And speaking of, you also want to make sure you're tending to your bedding at least once a week to make sure any pollen that is stuck to your clothes, stuck to your skin, is able to be washed away. Another air quality alert for Harris, Brazoria, and Galveston. We are dealing with some ground level ozone. So if pollen doesn't impact you, but ground level ozone, you're a little bit sensitive, if you have asthma or any other respiratory issues, that's something to keep in mind for today too. And the reason we're going to see a little bit more of that because we've got warm conditions. That sunshine interacting with the ozone creates a chemical reaction that can irritate your throat and things of that nature. So if you're part of the sensitive groups, just keep that in mind. One more thing to keep in mind. We are seeing dry conditions. We're seeing low humidity. It's going to start to increase throughout the day and for tomorrow. But something to bear in mind with all the wildfires that are burning in our state, be conscious of your surroundings. If you see something burning, put it out, and just be very mindful that our state is extremely dry. 88% of the state of Texas is under some form of drought. Locally, you know, aside from the fact that we had some decent rain last week, for the most part, we are either abnormally dry. This is the area that you see here in yellow, pretty much north of I-10. Otherwise, south, we're under a moderate drought. We have the better conditions considering the statewide, some spots are in extreme drought and even exceptional drought, but we're still rather dry when it comes to our vegetation. So that's something to keep in mind when we have high pressure in control, keeping our skies clear and conditions dry, cloud free. Plenty of sunshine out there. We'll enjoy it, but we just have to keep these things in mind. All right, high pressure is going to push off to the east, and we're going to see a little bit more moisture start to increase. But then it'll start to drop off again, and that's going to signal the next front. So for now, it really is carefree sunshine, with the exception of the pollen, of course. We are going to see dry conditions. Cloud cover is going to start to slowly build in. So tomorrow you'll notice just a couple of clouds, maybe some high clouds mixing in. By Monday, we'll start to see a little bit more cloud cover. Tuesday, you'll certainly notice it's mostly cloudy. And that's that moisture content building ahead of the front that's scheduled to come in Wednesday morning. But until then, check it out. Temperatures maxing out in the low, maybe even pushing some mid 80s for the start of the work week. A little drop off behind that front that pushes in on Wednesday, and then temperatures rebounding by the end of the week. All right, let's take you through time on future track. There is the front that's going to be approaching the area. It brings a line of storms by Wednesday overnight, at least for central Texas it does, and then gets closer and closer to us by early Wednesday morning. So that's a snapshot at 4:30, starting to inch closer to us. I'm thinking by the time you're headed to work, that's when we'll start to see the shower activity pick up. We're looking to see some showers, potentially some strong storms, especially between 9:30 to 10:30 time frame, but the big energy behind this system, it's actually developing to our east. So the severe threat for now remains to our east. We'll just be watching for some potent, strong storms, potentially some thunder showers embedded within those cells. But as far as tornadic activity, the hail threat, the torrential rain threat, for now, that is shaping up to park to the east of us. There's the dip into the jet stream. That's what we're watching right now, this upper level low that's developing off the eastern Pacific. It is going to intensify as it passes through the Great Basin, the Rockies, and then eventually it'll swing into the panhandle there. That's a snapshot at 7. That's the main core of the system. And then we look to the right to see the upper level divergence. So where that jet stream splits is where we're anticipating to see the most severe weather. So you'll notice it's certainly favoring Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, even parts of Tennessee are looking to see the brunt of this storm. For us, we're going to be on the lower end of that and getting more of a zonal flow. So rather than the sharp dip in the jet stream, zonal flow is more confined storm development. So for now, the severe threat for Wednesday stays off to our east. We're looking at some morning showers from this system, and the temperatures to dip down, but not by much. We're just going to max out in the 70s. In fact, that's pretty much where we should be for this time of year. Otherwise, temperatures are going to be trending above average. These types of temps, low to mid 80s, that's more typical for a late April pattern. We're seeing that in late March. We'll see the low 80s return to the forecast again by the end of the week. And then notice we've got another chance for moisture come this following weekend. So enjoy the dry weekend that we've got on tap for now. We're going to see some showers return to the forecast by the middle of the week, and then for the coming weekend, in case you're planning ahead, just know we are tracking a chance for rain this following weekend. So enjoy the dry conditions we have now. All right, time is just about 8:30. We will see you back here in 30 minutes for the KHOU 11 morning news with Lauren Tallarico. Otherwise, have a happy weekend, and I'll see you then.